really hate this.
I do too. Did you get a YouTube link the last time we had our meeting to send to share with both Dr. James and Miss Martin?
I did.
Okay, cool. So I've been working on some stuff and just sitting here. You're okay. We actually got to have Miss Martin in our class this morning, and we talked about effective communication.
Yep.
So, and that's what we talked
big on
about.
That.
All right, let's see. So in the process of talking about that, we discussed that since it's supposed to be a co-teaching collaboration, there's no way that we really can effectively do a one teach, one observe, even though an introduction is a perfect thing for doing one teach, one observe.
Okay.
It pretty much was laid out that we just have to team teach because there's no way to really parallel teach. Because the way that I think they have the camera set up is that it's not depth receptive, where in a further class for us, actually we can be able to move around the classroom, but in this Teach Live, the stationary, so we can move closer, but they won't come closer to us. So we pretty much are just going to have to do team teaching this whole time, which is fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So I started to fill out the procedural steps on the side, in the instructional procedures.
In the lesson plan?
Yes, in the learning segment lesson.
All right.
Because since last time we had talked, I was going to do that introduction, so I kind of just took a couple notes of what I could write while we were talking tonight. And what I thought was to talk about a subtraction and give various examples, like ask what they think it is, and then tell them, it's like when a kid plays with your toy and you've got 3 and they take away a car, have 2, that's subtraction, and it's taking away food from your plate, that's subtraction, give examples like that. And then I thought we could ask questions to get like whole class answers.
Okay, so remember what I was trying to remember last time?
Yes.
It's whole group teaching.
Ah, that's it. And that's what I wrote down. That's funny. Cool. Yes.
Yeah, I like that. I like whole group teaching, and I like what you just said. About what subtraction is to them. Then give examples. Okay.
And then, like, what does the symbol mean? And have you ever seen, what age placement are you in right now?
I'm in 3rd grade.
3rd grade, okay. In kindergarten, they say a lot of times, like, finger in the sky, or in pre-K, and they, like, draw stuff in the air.
Yep.
And I thought instead of, like, having them have whiteboards or something like that, or paper to write on, we could, like, have them mimic what a minus sign is for subtraction.
Yeah.
Which would be a formative assessment to actually see them drawing it.
I think I'm unique.
Okay.
I think that's it, because we've got to do some sort of assessment.
Yeah, we do.
And so that way we know from the intro that they know what subtraction is and what the sign is. And that way when we go to modeling, we're actually going to just model actually how to do that with Rainbow Fish.
Right.
There is no end.
Right. Let me pull that lesson plan up too.
My parents are going to be good.
So that's all going into the introduction. So that's the engaging the students into it.
Correct. And I wrote over here on the side. Do you see that I highlighted?
Okay, that was you. I was just reading that.
I wrote all that.
I was just reading that.
The only thing I don't have is down here the introduce lesson objective, which I would say, and you can correct me if you think it's different, I think it would be just to explain what subtraction, I mean, just to verify they know subtraction means taking away. I mean, it's kind of redundant, but.
Yeah, so what we do in third grade is
What's this one?
every time
This
me or
is-
her teach,
Uh-huh.
we go ahead and we write the objective on the board so that they constantly like know what they're trying to achieve. And then we ask them, so what do you think that objective means? Or what do you think that we're going to learn today? Sometimes, like most of the time, they're way off because they use very fancy language.
Yeah.
Students will be able to add, subtract using 5-digit. So we ask them like what that means, but we put it on the board so that they can constantly remind themselves, okay, I'm supposed to be working towards that. That is my end goal. Like that's where my teacher wants me. And
Cool.
it's like she says like that shows like a sign of support. So
Yeah. So what do you think the lesson objective should be for this?
oh, just for the introduction, we have to have one
Well,
for everyone.
it just said, let's see, it says, nope, it just says introduce lesson objective. So,
Okay, so
yeah, just a
I
main
think that's
objective for the
just-
whole.
I think that's just giving a subtraction story prompt students be able to use manipulative to subtract 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 items from items with 80% accuracy.
Okay, so do the same thing that we had for our lesson objective at the top, just copy paste it and put it in the bottom for our actual introduction.
Wait,
We had
you
that.
said yes,
You
yes,
see?
that
Okay.
right there.
Okay. And then I'll just put it down here. So use manipulatives to subtract 1, 2, 3, or 4 items from 5 items with 80% accuracy. We could just put, and then like right on the board, use manipulatives to subtract 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4 items from 5 items.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that we should like actually write that on the board so that we have that visual up there?
Yes, I do think we should write that on the board. Totally.
Okay. Why don't you all start by saying just like, good evening, class. We are going to discuss subtraction today. Does anybody know what subtraction is? And then as that'll be like my lead to let you take over and like explain what it is. Does that make sense? That way we're kind of working
Yes.
together and then I could write on the board. And then like I could fill in and help you come up with some examples if they seem lost. Does that make sense? And we could have examples written down on here.
Yes. This one's really slow when I'm on video chat.
Yeah.
I did not mean substation, but I was just hoping you wouldn't make me spell subtraction on the way.
Miss Martin today, when she wrote the word differentiate, she just wrote differ and put dot dot. She goes, you get it.
Yeah.
She's
I
like,
think my bad
yeah.
habits kind of come from her sometimes. That she does that and she's like dot dot dot. And I actually did in my placement the other day and the teacher was like, no, you didn't know.
That's funny.
I deleted the whole thing. All right. All right. Explain what subtraction really is and come up with examples of students are lost to help them understand the concept of the lesson objective. Um, I have a question, but I lost it. Did Dr. Johnson, that's not her name. Is it Dr. Johnson? Yes, is Dr. Johnson correct?
I don't know. James is my doctor. Dr. James.
Dr. James, that's who it is.
I'm like, is there another doctor?
Did she are you guys did she tell you if how are we like measuring this manipulative goal? Are the students somehow in the virtual world going to have these manipulatives?
I think because we provide them ahead of time and in far enough in advance, they send them to Florida. And so like they program the computer to know what kind of manipulatives we would have. Does that make sense? But I think it has to be I think it has to be paper form. It can't be like,
okay.
You couldn't have like block, you know, you can have stuff like that. I don't think.
Right. So that's why I was confused. I'm like, how the hell am I gonna assess them using manipulatives in a virtual world?
Now I have a question. Do you
Yes,
have
ma'am.
class on Thursday night?
Tonight?
No. Well, yeah, I guess tonight is Thursday. In other words, do you have a date of when we're actually doing this? Are we doing it on the December date or the November?
Oh no, I'm not the Thursday night class. I am the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay.
I mean Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay, so that's what I'm with you too. Okay. Because they were asking today and I said, I don't know when it is. Okay, so it's the Monday, whatever. It's not the Thursday. It's the three shorter increment ones.
Yeah, and she hasn't told us when those are, or when we'll be going.
Let me see.
Where's my binder? I never can find that thing.
So it will be the November 30th, December 2nd, December 4th. From 2 to 3:30.
Is that close?
Yeah. The class that has to do it on November, the class that does November is a week from today, and they're trying to get it pushed back.
I'm really thinking that it's like this is going to happen like the 7th, the 9th, or the 11th.
No.
Wow.
No, a week from today, unless Dr. James gets it pushed back with Florida, the Thursday night people are doing it a week from today.
I'm so sorry for them.
So thankfully, thankfully that's not us.
Yeah, true. Truth.
All right, let's have you guys written any lesson plans yet?
This class doesn't directly deal with lesson plans. All my other classes does, so.
Okay, so you're familiar with it. We've done a couple together, and then we're just starting. We just have done our first one by ourselves. So.
Do you guys use the Ed TPA practice lesson plan?
The one that they made for SIUE students? Is that what you're talking about?
SIUE.
Yeah,
because we have
it looks like the top portion, but then this looks the exact same, except for instead of having the co-teaching approach, circle one, and then the GE and SPED, it just has an open box there for you to write your lesson.
Ours looks completely different. So like we have to go through like the lesson overview, the lesson summary. We have to have a central focus, the misconceptions, developmental approximations. We have to have a learning goals, the assessment plans, the teaching and learning sequence.
Dang. Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, that's different. Okay. Okay. So modeling, step-by-step instructions, think aloud. Okay.
All right. So, do you have some think aloud? Did you guys talk about think alouds?
Not at all.
All right. Well, I can help you. Honestly, I think I'll just take a picture of this and send it to you. I'll text it to you so you've got the actual paper because it's just one page, and that way you've got, and that'll come through. Do you know about Champs? If not, I can tell you.
Yeah, tell me about. I was just looking at what that is. Champs.
Someone in our class today asked Miss Martin. She goes, "Yeah, we don't talk about that."
Yeah.
Okay, so Champs is an acronym for communicate, or conversation. Actually, is the word for it. Conversation, help, activity, movement, participation, and then the S has to do with success. So if you do those 5, you'll be successful. And so the whole point of the Champs is saying that if you as like you're teaching, you say, now when we're doing this lesson, we're not going to be talking to our neighbor. We're going to be listening attentively, paying attention. If you need to ask a question, you raise your hand, or that's Champs, is like telling them how they're supposed to talk or not talk, how to ask for help, what kind of activity you expect from them, if they're allowed to move. Like, now we're going to stay seated in our chairs today. We're not going to be moving around, talking to our partner. And I want you to participate by, focusing on your own work. Like that's what that kind of is saying.
So it's like setting clear expectations for the students.
Yep. And it's just telling you to make sure you cover, like, if they're allowed to talk, how to ask for help, what activity, if they're allowed to move, and how do they participate to be successful. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yep.
Okay.
So she also explained it as like the left side is like the recipe card. So it's just like giving a few points, and then the other side is like your actual directions of what you would actually have the recipe telling you to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because that's what we kind of do too.
Okay, that's cool. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Okay. So step-by-step instructions. I think the first step is actually showing them subtraction in action. And then getting the manipulatives involved, because I know me. I can't. Manipulatives don't help me, but they help other people.
And they help me. Like by doing, I learn by doing and by seeing, not by just someone telling me. I have to like actively be involved in it.
Yeah. See, like me, I got to see it, and then you give me those manipulatives, and I'll be able to do it.
Now that's what I learn that way. I don't learn by someone just saying this is what you need to do. I don't learn by just lecturing. Yeah.
Oh no.
We're on the same page.
Great.
So think alouds are I statements in a summary. Did that text come through on you?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, that's what I was doing.
Making connections. It could be like, this reminds me of when I go to the grocery store and I give the person my money, they take some away from me and I give some back. Or I've read another story where the mom gave something and she took it. Yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Yep. You're smart. You're a smart cookie. This
Still
one.
predicting.
I wonder if we need to actually write what we're doing in Think Alouds because we're supposed to write the Think Alouds in our section. I wonder if I can just put like, this reminds me of ... and like, you know what I mean? Just put like the ones that we would use like as like clues, as in like assistants that we would use.
Right. Okay. So with Champs, are you introducing it every time you? So let's say we go after the group that does introduction, and we're doing this section of it.
Yep.
Do we
Champs.
introduce the news? Okay.
Yep. And so that will be part of our actual modeling. So as we're modeling, say, I want you to focus on how we subtract whatever activity we're going to do. We need to come up with an activity and it'll make more sense. But yeah, the same thing of saying, I want you to get out of your seats and blah, 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 and I want you to, or get with your partner, or, like that would be something that we would actually add into, our lesson. For instance, she says,
I'm listening.
I know, I'm trying to find where it's at, sorry.
No, you're fine. I was looking for something.
Okay, so right here it says, let's open the book and begin to read. Remember when Miss Cott is reading, our reading eyes are looking at the pictures, our reading ears are listening to the words, our reading mouths are silent, and our reading bodies are still. That's how we show that we are being good readers. That's Champs.
Okay.
So it's just clear direction. Like whenever you go to circle time, you say, body still, eyes on book, or eyes on teacher, hands in lap, mouths quiet, ears listening. That's Champs. But that's how she has it in here, is before she reads the book. But I don't think that we can actually read the book during the modeling because that would take up like our 10 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Correct. Let me go to this part. In class today, we're going to celebrate because
What do you think about for a activity? This activity, so we need to do something with the fish to tie it in with rainbow fish. This activity that it's sampling shows using that cutout, that fish cutout, and then they make aluminum scales that they put on the board, and then they take them off to show, like, giving to their friends.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, something that's easily made.
An activity they could do.
I'm looking on Pinterest, if you're wondering.
I was just going there.
Love it.
Subtraction on Pinterest. And you said it has to tie into
Rainbow fish.
5 rainbow fish. the hell is this story?
So I don't even own this book. I feel like I need to go buy it and read it.
Yeah, I'm like looking at the lesson plan and I'm like, so is it in here?
Of the actual story?
Yeah.
No, she just says, make observations of the pages in the book. I see your friends, the rainbow fish. I see some other friends, a starfish, an octopus. Here it looks like our fish is holding one of his scales. What do you know has happened to his scales? He doesn't have many scales that he started with. Oh, he shared. What a nice story. I mean, yeah, it doesn't. That's all that it says about the book. So obviously this rainbow
Okay.
fish shares its pretty scales with others.
Maybe what we could do, um, you said something. What did you say again? Can you repeat it?
About the activity?
Huh?
About the activity?
Yeah, can you repeat what you said?
Okay, for this lesson plan, they have this fish that they like put on the board, I think. You see this paper?
Mm-hmm.
So they had this fish posted on the board, and then apparently they did like aluminum foil scales, and like they took them off as they read the book when the fish gave it to a friend, which shows subtraction. And then they also did like a little worksheet that said the rainbow fish has 5 shiny scales. He shares 1 scale with his friend. How many scales does the rainbow fish have left? So if he has 5, you take away 1, it'd be 4. And then it goes through and asks different questions because our learning objective has to do with subtracting 1, 2, 3, or 4 from 5. And it does that just through actual sentence questions.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, so that threw off my idea. Never mind. Oh.
I wonder if we could do something still with like a fish on the board and do I mean, it's going to be really hard to get away from doing something with scales since that's what they're taking away.
Yeah.
You know?
So did she specifically? Did Doctor? We don't have class tomorrow. Dang it! I was going to ask. Did Dr. James talk to you guys about, since like we won't have like the actual book to reference? Well, no, the introduction. No. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Since we don't have the actual book to reference, do we have to specifically talk about the scales being taken away?
I don't know. I mean, we could do anything, I guess, since we don't know about it. Or would that would be a fault that we didn't actually read the book to come up with our lesson plan. You know what I mean? I don't know. The main point. Well, I don't want to, be like, well, they were too lazy to go to the library or they were too lazy to,
Right.
So I'm wondering, I mean, the main part of this grade is the collaboration. The actual presentation of it is not much of it. It's pretty much giving us an opportunity to stand in front of children that we're not going to hurt. So,
okay.
I think the main part is for us to collaborate and be solid than for us to actually.
Okay. Because my idea was, how about we flip it and we still make this whole story about the fish, but how about, somehow, we put a spin on it and we talk about a fisherman going out to sea and we have 5 fish on the board, and as he fishes, he takes away a fish and comes again, he keeps taking away fish. That's the only way I could actually see us getting around it.
I like it.
Yeah.
So fisherman, go with the spin, go stick with fish, rainbow fish. He shares his scales, but then also go with another way you could think about it is being a fisherman and a fisherman catching, imagine the whiteboard as our C, and the fisherman's fishing. When he catches one, the C now has how many left? There were 5, take away 1.
Yes.
Does that make sense to do it
Yes.
that way? I like it. That's awesome.
Yes. Fisherman, take away.
So I'm gonna just ask, and you can bash me if you want to. Do you want to just like take a bunch of notes and then instead of like typing this whole thing up together while we're online, do you want to just type it up like after we get done meeting? I don't know how to say it because I feel like we're gonna be on here for like 5 hours.
Yeah, actually that's what I've been doing this whole time.
Well, I've been taking notes too, and I've been typing just the stuff on the side just so we had the left column to reference our other notes.
Okay.
Does that work? I mean, and we can, then when we meet on Tuesday, we'll have plenty of time to go through and actually plug in our information and make sure our stuff merges and we actually are on the same page and we tweak everything and really make a solid go of it. Is that what you were expecting to?
Yeah.
Okay. If not, you can totally tell me differently. I'm fine with it. I just
know
my other lesson plan took me multiple hours. I'm like, we're going to be on here for 5 hours. We're going to be ordering pizza and, eating together.
Yeah, I've been so fisherman takes away whiteboard BC. Think about it this way. That's some differentiation right there.
High five online. And do you also have some effective ways to communicate on your, tool belt, active listening techniques to make sure we incorporate that?
Well, let me just look in this big binder that she makes us keep up with. Building relationships in the classroom.
Love it. Let me just get this big old binder.
You're not the one hiring him. Plus, actually, no. 1 second.
You're fine.
Okay. So some effective ways to communicate with students. Include student. So we talk a lot about theorists in our classroom. In class, and talk about incorporating them. And I'm a very Alfie Kohn type of person. So everything is like student centered. Just to throw that out there. Why do I have 2 of these? Okay. I am looking for it.
Mine's a green sheet. I don't know if yours is green too.
You said what?
Mine's a green sheet. I don't know if yours is green too.
We have multiple handouts. We have like 1,000. So, we go all the way from actively communicating with parents down to students, back up to parents. So tell me what you have, and then I can go exactly to that packet that talks.
Yep, it is called Characteristics of Effective Communication, and it has effective communication is listening and effective speaking. So, for instance, active listening, there's paraphrasing, perception checking, questions, and say more.
Yeah, okay.
So that's what I was kind of getting at is we need to make sure that instead of saying very good or something like that, we're actually saying, I like the way you made the connections and, you know, whatever.
I'm going to move for like
Oh, you're
a
fine.
few seconds. I have
You're
to go
fine.
downstairs to the front desk because I'm on duty.
Okay.
Alrighty. Hey,
You still there?
what?
This is Dominique's book bag, and she told me to watch that.
Okay.
I don't want her to be mad at me.
Okay. You said she was coming here. And I have to treat her like don't come from there. It was shady, like, and don't talk to me like that because simply I put out there, I'm not gonna sign it because I'm on search committee. Well, you're not actually.
And you gave a reason, it wasn't like you just said.
Right. Okay, sorry. We can go. We can
You're
continue.
okay. You're fine.
All right. So active communication. So yeah, I think telling them, you know, getting away from the good job or well done is more like, I like the way you answer that, or expand on your thought. Sorry, I'm on video chat. Ooh. Okay. Let me write that down so I don't forget.
Very good or whatever, and so she was like, yeah, I thought it was gonna be like super for every night, but it's not. And I'm like, oh, well, you know, it is what it is.
Okay. Hey, Don.
Okay, thank you. I noticed that there's not very many tutoring schedules up there
Yes,
anymore.
ma'am.
If you can make a couple copies back to back.
Yep.
Whenever your lazy list will be up there.
Okay.
And then, I don't know, put that somewhere.
Do you want these back?
I don't have to have them back because you might need them somewhere to make more sometime.
Okay.
Because I feel like people are gonna be wanting tutoring now. Okay.
Right.
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 So, maybe put it somewhere so if it runs, I know we should make like a whole stack of 50 because that makes you and then makes you more.
Okay. Great.
I just want to leave it for me somewhere or leave it for Mackenzie and I'll get it on Monday or something. That's fine. Somehow.
Alrighty.
You know what the gist is.
Alrighty. Have a great day, John. Okay. So, wait, which part are we on now? I just got discombobulated by moving.
You're okay. I think I'm going to screen share. That way we can kind of stay.
Great.
Does that make sense? Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Forward to show.
We also need to be thinking about the zone of proximal development.
Huh?
We also need to be thinking about the zone of proximal development by Vygotsky for those higher reaching students. So like as soon as we start teaching, a student can have it down just like that. So how do we differentiate our teaching so that we're hitting right outside of that ballpark, but we're also still getting it for the same students who are still struggling with the concept?
I think that will come. So modeling, I think, will be great for team, but I think that we can do that zone of proximal development for the guided practice there, an alternative. And if we see or we can tell that someone's actually expanding on it or someone's like falling below, that I could take the one that's falling below and
Great.
just plan on having, because I guarantee there's going to be 4 types of learners and there's going to be 2 that are lower and 2 that are higher.
Yes.
And so I think during the guided practice, we need to just plan on that and plan on
It's like Mama doesn't.
Well, when I go home, she can like test it out.
Okay, yeah.
Would you like to write thank you letter to the military?
Okay, so we on
So we've pretty
guided
much,
practice now?
yeah, we pretty much have got everything for modeling. We just need to write our actual scripts out, and I'll come up with a chance to go with that. So for that modeling, do you want me to introduce it since you just got done kind of recapping and finishing the intro, and I'll do the modeling starting, and then you can go into the board with the fish, and then we can both like go back and forth with that.
Yep, that makes sense. I like that.
Cool. All right, so guided practice. So you will get 2 students and I'll get 2 students. We'll do the alternative
Okay.
teaching. And for guided practice, what type of lesson do you want to cover? Do you want to just go more in depth of doing like manipulatives of blocks, or well, you can't do blocks necessarily. You could do cards, or
What type of, do you know what type of manipulatives? Do you know what type of manipulatives they sent Florida?
no, I do not. I mean, let me email Miss Dr. James and I'll find out and see if she's online, if she could maybe answer that for us.
Okay.
We're really bad together.
I know. It's okay. Or sitting on carrot, your carrot sitting on your lap, and y'all.
I was having an emergency.
You can't have emergencies like this.
Yes, I can.
She tell you how to fill out the events thing with our time here?
Huh?
Did she tell you how to put your thing in the events calendar so I can give you bullet points for this?
In the events calendar? I don't even know what an events calendar is. She has a sign-up sheet for us.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how's it going? I got you, Marcus. Okay.
How many I get to Would you like to write a thank you note to the military? Military?
He just ignored you. I'm sorry. I am supposed to be like, yo, this is distracting me at the desk and trying to do my homework. See, but the bad part, I feel like I'm being rude because I'm on a video chat when I'm on Google Hangout.
But
Okay.
I've got a shared document that you shouldn't be showing.
You said what?
I said I've got it on a shared document, so maybe the shared document's showing and not you.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, great.
All right,
Okay.
so alternative teaching, target specific feedback, manipulative opportunities to multiple opportunities to respond. We'll see if she answers back while we're on this.
Right. Okay. So yeah, let's just, for now we can just put,
For the
let's
manipulative.
put blocks, and we could put that in red, highlight that red,
Okay.
because that's what we're putting for change, so we can change that. We'll use blocks to introduce the guided practice portion.
Sounds good. So I put that at the bottom. Is that what you wanted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would y'all like to write a thank you note to the military?
Have fun at dinner. Have fun at dinner.
I'm not staying long, probably 2 more minutes.
Okay.
You can just write thank you or something like
Yeah,
that.
it doesn't have to be extensive.
Yeah, I don't really know what we can do with the guided practice until she specifically answers that.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing as
Because I feel like we can go into depth now, but then like what if she doesn't send blocks and she sends
you know what we
something
could
else?
do?
And what?
We could send just paper, like a printed picture of a pond with a fisherman standing, and we could have like 5 fish that they could cut out, or we could have them cut out already and just have whatever, and then they could practice like having their 5 fish and mimic modeling what we did on the board.
Yes,
Does
I
that
like
make
that.
sense? So instead of worrying
Yes,
about
that makes
blocks,
sense.
we could just make our own little worksheet and just have a fish pond with a fisherman standing beside it, and then I could have 5 fish that just on a piece of paper that they could cut out or whatever, and have those
Yes,
as a
I like
small
that.
version. Okay, more of a tangible item.
How was it like seeing Scott today?
That is so weird. It's like a making nowhere. So you need to like get some implants and let them just like sprout out. I wish they could joke. Maybe you should go buy that like infomercial spray that you spray on your face and all the hair just grow out.
Yep.
His face is still
I'll be right back, Stephanie. I'm going like right behind you, blow my nose.
You're okay.
You don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, your book. I think you said your blue. It's in my room.
No, it's not the Veterans Day. It's just the single one. So if you like the right one, they would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't have to be expensive either. Just don't write it towards a certain branch of the military and don't write anything about I'm not going. Says if you want to. Yeah.
That's the thing, right? Well, I put a G on Robin, but that was it. I mean, that's it.
Okay.
No, she needs to come down.
And 4 people like my message in the group text. Hi, Lonnie.
I said like.
Because it said she put it in a group me. She didn't even text it to me. She put it in a group me. All right. For the independent practice that we're on now. Oh, nope, you're still
We're on,
typing. Sorry.
No, you're fine. We can move up or we can move down. I was just going to put something, maybe you can help me come up with the words for it, like
Oh, yeah, keep going.
specific feedback. Grasping, I don't know.
Grasping.
I was thinking like grasping the concept of, what's the actual,
A holiday.
grasping, subtracting multiple items, I don't know, or single digit items, or let's see.
Grasping the concept of. Yeah, I'm we can go on there and change it.
Y'all like to write a thank you letter to the military? Just as you don't address a certain branch of the
Why are you in the family? Why are you in the family Disney? Why are you in a Disney dream?
My fake grandparents went on the trip, and so they were posting an update.
Hey.
So student demonstration of new skill or knowledge would be them actually having problems and then figuring it out on their own.
Correct. This is also a time where me and you can write several problems on the board.
Yeah.
Me and you can go back and forth on the board. So I can write a problem, you write a problem, I write a problem, you problem, and this is how we can This is how we can start to see the students who are struggling and bring them up to speed on the skill.
Yes. I was thinking maybe before with the guided practice, we could have actual problems like typed up on their sheet as well for like the fish. And that way they could like see, then they could like check off and they could physically like mark off whenever their problems were answered.
Yes. I think, never mind. For this one, do you want me to take the students who are not grasping the seal, or do you still want to take those?
No, I think that's a great idea that you take them.
Okay.
You're the only reason why I should never get changed. Baby, if you want me, then all of this will go.
So let's see. So demonstrating knowledge.
I'll write them all.
You have 3 left. Here, if you want this one too.
Oh, I haven't wrote one yet.
Would you like to write a thank you letter to the military? We just ask that you don't address it to a certain branch or anything about a holiday.
Make sure you write keep it real.
Would you like to write a thank you letter to the military? We just ask that you don't address it to a certain branch or anything about a holiday.
What if you want to wish them happy all of the holidays, even Valentine's Day, 4th of July, and
You need to sign this?
Bye, Marcus. You can.
Yeah, you can sign it.
Did you get some sleep, Dr. Chance?
I sure did.
I like that.
Either of you
I was-
want to write our last card to the military?
Oh, I like the nickname Grumpy Pants.
Okay.
It's fitting. It's pretty grumpy.
I am not.
We just ask that you don't address it to a certain branch of the military or talk about holidays.
We just cussed in front of my teacher.
Are you a teacher?
Yes.
I don't know.
Because I have to.
You're on desk hour.
I'm doing homework.
You're on desk hour.
I'm doing homework.
All right, first.
No, not at all. School first.
Oh, I know. Which is okay. That's why Monty is.
You hear me?
No.
And I think he's okay.
Today.
Yeah, because if you do that to him, you should also make the other one. You can't tell anybody because no one knows.
But you just told me.
Because it's on her damn desktop. You can't tell. You can't spread it like wildfire throughout the dang group until he find out
But the
tomorrow.
group only has 5 people.
Okay, he can't. You can't tell anybody till
I
tomorrow.
gotta tell the fairy dogs.
You cannot. Liz, no.
So I put rationale would be, above that I put that you would take the struggling students and I'll fill out champs afterwards once we get an actual lesson written out. And then I put the rationale for confusion, just like you need to know how to add numbers, you need to know how to take items away and subtract.
Mm-hmm.
I won't tell anybody.
And then I also put for review, it would make sense to like tie it in, since we're talking about story and math, to tie it into them writing a short story of their own. Do you think? Not that they're actually going to, but that way there was something to like lead into,
Right?
to transition into another activity.
Yes.
We got 31 cards.
Woo! I just did something. No, cancel that. Okay, great. I don't need that side to be.
I have my key.
Thank you.
Can you grab that to everything when you get off?
Yeah.
Hey, Alex.
Like my feet were hurting when I was walking here. And I really don't know why. I think I do know why, but
He got to take a full test. Is this him come back to walk in the door? Oh.
I'm just on you.
that was fail.
All right, what else do you have?
For this part,
Students summarize learning or provide examples.
I don't see a top she posted
Like 5 something.
she said bluff. Students summarize learning or provide examples. So this is how we're going to wrap up the lesson. So we could ask students, you know, some clarifying questions. So this is some time we're like, so what happens when this? What happens with that? Or here is something that I didn't tell you that you actually know. I don't know. But that's what comes to mind when I think about provide examples, because we've already provided examples in the last one. So only thing I could think about is clarifying, and like if I miss something, that's the time to bring it up.
Yeah, sounds good. Any planned supports for conclusion? I mean, I don't know. You're wrapping it up. I mean, you're done at that point. So either you missed the ball or.
Yeah. So for planned supports, we could, from the assessment, we'll, for planned supports for the students who struggle, we'll be doing some one-on-one instruction later on.
I'm an idiot. Oh, they're finally publicizing the letter system?
What do you think planned supports for independent practice? I mean, you only have another visual opportunity, or
Yeah.
have tangibles for them to hold, like have like blocks if we could. We'll see, because that would be a good one if they're independent and there is someone struggling and they need to actually physically move or do something with their hands.
Right.
Thank you.
Correct. I like that.
Are you saying you love Marcus?
Alrighty. So we have. So we will each independently work on our.
Our text, like what our
Yeah.
script.
Yeah, what our script is by ourselves. And then we'll meet up again on Tuesday at 5
Can we
o'clock.
change our meeting? Yeah, can we change our meeting time?
Yeah.
I have a program for housing that I have to do at that time that we were going to meet. Can we do 7?
On Tuesday?
Yeah, does that work?
Yep, we can do that.
All right.
And
All
so
righty, so
when
we'll
we
work on
meet
that.
back up, we'll have our narratives all written out, and then we'll just make sure everything flows, and we'll work on all that. Does that sound good?
Correct.
Cool. Good deal. Well, it's been
Alrighty.
real. Take care.
All right. You
Bye.
too. Bye.